The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Go to the church, though.
Tawali man, what's up?
Man, can you imagine people just dump everywhere? Someone drinks water and throws the bottle wherever.
Come on, Rogers. What else do you expect people to do with an empty bottle?
Simanya now, recorder. Did you know that plastics take at least 450 years to decompose?
What? That's a long time.
Exactly. Because plastics are made out of a lightweight and flexible material that doesn't decompose easily. And plastics everywhere in the environment cause plastic pollution.
What is plastic pollution now?
It is the accumulation of plastic waste in the environment, like bottles, polythene bags, straws. All of these contribute to plastic pollution.
I have been using them without knowing their effect.
Yeah, a lot of people have. Plastics are a danger to the ecosystem, both on land and in water.
So how can we overcome this problem? Is there something we can do?
Oh yes, we can reduce by minimizing the use of plastics, reuse by repurposing them, or recycle by collecting and processing them into new products.
Everyone wants to change the world, but no one wants to change themselves for the world.
How about we change our habits for the world?
And it starts with me and you.
This message is brought to you by Alternative Digitalk.
Looking for a pair of shoes? Let's Up Stores has a wide range of selection for unisex footwear. We have the best quality of all brands at pocket-friendly prices and we make deliveries countrywide. Just place your order or reach us on 0772 08 0090. You can also check up at Let's Up Stores on all our social media platforms. Let's Up, craft your own footprints.
The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Welcome back from that short break. We are still talking about climate, a very major concern for you and I who still want to live and who want our loved ones and the people coming behind us to still live. I'm with Mr. Okumu Phillip, the co-founder of Global Earth Care International Uganda, and we are discussing how the youth can be empowered on climate action and community transformation. We believe, he believes, and we all believe that the youth can do much more, can contribute largely to conserving nature and even transforming communities. If you are the youth out there, don't undermine what your capacity and your capabilities are. You can do something important for this world by conserving the environment and making sure that we do not harm our very own mother nature. So we were still talking about some of your initiatives and the new things you have brought on the table to enable maybe the youth and to empower them. But as a person who has been on the ground, I believe you have had challenges, like you have seen what the youth face, the challenges that the youth face in implementing these actions. What could be some of those?
Yes, the truth is, just like another business person outside there starts a business, it is very hard and very challenging to run these environmental organizations, initiatives for a long time when you don't have funding. Funding is so challenging for the youth because we know that the youth don't have money. We know that youth don't have money. So running projects, running these activities without finance, it is so disturbing. That's why many times we end up to have more of talking than more of practical actions. Because if you're going to talk about an initiative like now developing a technology, developing those robots, even getting demos only, you need to buy materials, and youth don't have money. You know, youth, we've woken up in the past few decades when youth have now come on board and said that we have to fight. But we used to think like, because we have our old people, let them fight for us. Until when we reached a time and we thought that maybe the older people are also fighting for themselves. So we had to come. So funding is challenging youth. Secondly, recognition. Youth are not recognized on many platforms. Well, we are still advocating and still asking for that, but you find that youth are doing a lot of things, but we wish there should be those standouts where they can call, Kenneth, you've done these things about environment, and for that, but though we see in other countries, I think actually if it comes to context of our country, we need to do more in recognizing the youth who are in these kind of activities. Because if you go to different countries and you do something that is really going to help the community and say either environment protection, the organization that will even put you to be. But for us here, you find that Kenneth knows me so much about environment with, my friends, but if I try to penetrate through agencies, through government, whatever, to put our proposals, there's a lot of procedures and hardships. So
leave the youth out.
Yes. We know that sometimes people don't trust the youth with the money. But if they can take the project and they make us implement as they find, we have no problem. Let us present that according to what we've seen as youth, and in our energy we are stronger to implement this project, but we don't have the funds. So if the government or if the concerned body or agency or any well-wisher is willing, but it makes us to be the implementer, then for them they can be behind when they are, pushing us. We have no problem. So those challenges are actually affecting our youth so much. Another thing about what actually disturbs or challenges youth in these activities is we are getting challenges with the obstacles of political interests. How? Nowadays, many youth, when they get when you're trying to push for something and maybe you're so many behind, chances are very high that they may even add you on a political party, and then before you hear tomorrow you're no longer there, they have taken you. These guys are going to, to disturb the peace of the people and so on. Yet sometimes you're just on your usual activities.
They say you're Western agents.
Yes, Western agents. You want to disorganize the community, you're supporting this political party. So this is what youth are facing. And right now, if it comes to politics and the conservation, sometimes it may not differ a lot because the politicians have a say. I mean, many of them even have the money. I wish they could be like, let's be doing this for the environment. But now, sometimes they see us as foreign agents, they see us as political peers. We want to disorganize stability of the communities and places we live. And of most cases, not true. It's not true. So something has to be done about this kind of issues, because surely,
according to what you're saying, this leaves the youth vulnerable. But they make, you agree that they are left vulnerable in this, right?
Yes.
But they are the largest percentage in the country. We are second to Niger among the countries with the youngest population. Why are they still beggars? Why are they still down and being left behind when they are the largest percentage actually in the country? Why don't we see those environmental activists who are youth receiving medals on like Heroes Day and other important functions? Why are they left out when they are the largest?
In the forest, a lion is not the biggest animal, but it leads other animals. Youth have come on board for the few years, but we are still having all the elements who see us as small fish, and they are on the resources, they are on the tables of policy making, they are on the tables of making decisions. So why do youth become vulnerable even if they are the big numbers? We are still having people who think like, wait, your time is coming. But when will our time come? Many times we've heard when they tell you like, wait for tomorrow. Until when the youth have said that there's no tomorrow, because I don't know whether I'm going to live tomorrow. Even the Bible says, for tomorrow will take care of itself. Take care of today. The scriptures were telling us that why do you keep that this man will eat it tomorrow, yet you don't know what you're going to eat today? So youth are bigger numbers. The only advantage you are getting that youth are getting, actually, they have become so eager for knowledge, they have become so eager to be on the policy making, they have become so eager to be proactive than before. But if it comes to being vulnerable, We are being vulnerable because we are having lions ahead of us who have existed before us, who know the system more than us, and they are not willing to be so open a lot.
The system to their advantage.
Exactly. And we are trying to tell them, we are bringing them on board. We tell them, Daddy, tomorrow when, of course we don't know who will go first, but according to the normal being, it would be better that at least the elders go first. So if you're going and leaving us today, what are you leaving us with? Leave us with the knowledge, resources, and leave us when we are organized to take control of what you built, not to remove all of them and not to extinct them. So youth are vulnerable because of those elders who are not calling us to put us and pour to us that knowledge and we learn. And I'm telling you, youth have become very flexible because now many youth, when you tell them that you have maybe a project to implement and you're willing to finance it, even to be the main person behind it, you'll get many youth who will come and volunteer. Youth are very positive and are ready to volunteer. We have so many youth on our table who just want to volunteer. They will tell you, do you have anything that we can do in relation to environment? And then, first of all, they are stronger, they are faster, but then our wazee, sometimes they say that we tend to run things very faster. They still think that these are the old youth. But right now we have the modern youth. I want to tell people outside there, I want to tell the stakeholders, I want to tell the people who are in policy making that the youth we are having now are modern youth. They are youth which are ready to provide, which are ready to support, which are ready to implement, which are ready to be on the board and be impactful youth. Let's not have that thing it's called the, I don't know how they say, like someone trying to put you in the way that when a drunkard person is talking, they think everything is talking is nonsense. The youth of long time ago were not purposeful, but the youth of now are very purposeful. Please call us outside there, involve us in your projects, call us and be on board. Otherwise, don't leave us behind, because tomorrow we shall be the problem to this country.
Why are they afraid of allowing you be on board? Because if it is for the good of the world, why are they leaving you behind? Why do they fear when you want to get involved and be on the decision-making tables?
Just as I've told you that culture used to think that because I am the father, I have to take care of everything. And that was long ago. Modernity has come and I say that even now, I just gave you the other example. Women were not working, a few of them. But now the community where we've come to notice that climate change and environmental conservation affects either a baby, a woman, a father, or a baby, or like everyone. And we told our old people, or the grown-up people, that you cannot be alone in the fight. Let everyone be in the fight. Because as you're in town, as you've gone for work, at home you've left there your wife, you've left there your children, you've left there your boys and your young girls. So if you still seeing them like they can't do something, then you're on the wrong side. The problem we had, these people have been thinking that youth cannot do anything that is presentable. And it has been, they used to think like when you give resources to the youth, first of all, they don't coordinate, they don't want to work together, you get. But even them, they were youth like us. Just time shifts, but they were youth. So the reason why they think youth cannot be productive, they think youth always, they want money. Anything which has money, youth are going to come. That's why you see some of them, they want to use youth in politics. You will get someone who's is full of youth because, is able to give the youth 10,000 and 20,000. But I also want to tell the youth outside there that that's not sustainable. Because after the political times are gone, you come back on the street. Let's be outside there when you are doing something that is purposeful and important to our community. Why do these people sometimes also undermine or see youth like they are not supposed to be in these things? Because they think that we are not managers. They think because that we are still young. But the environment and the climate we are in has made us, become different people. We have adopted, we have adjusted, we are now different people. We can take up responsibilities.
Maybe that is the image you portray outside there. That's why maybe they are afraid of you, because maybe it's the image you portray as youth. You show that you're not responsible, even at where you are, at your workplaces, even in your local areas. Maybe you have not proven enough that you can do something.
We have to accept that time changes. That could have time ago. It could have been time ago. But now we're in different time. Time changes. The way I've told you that for the past like 30 years, the youth which have attained education in those past 30 years, I think if you add them, it's like it triples or quadruples the number of youth that have been educated in years before. What does this show you? It shows you that the younger generation right now has the knowledge, the skills, the capacity to implement, to handle, to manage projects. But the way I've just told you that the assumption of the mindedness from the indigenous knowledge used to think that youth cannot do something productive. And it's what we are telling our bazei, our old people, that the world has changed. Youth now can be very productive. Youth now, they can implement, they can lead, they can handle these roles and responsibilities. If it comes to the way you've stated that maybe they see us as people who are not responsible, this is now a mindset, and we have to transform it. Because right now, when you try to check how many youth organizations and initiatives are existing in this country, only Uganda, you will even wonder. But the initiatives are coming every day. Even as I'm talking now, there's a team of youth that are registering their company, their group, their initiative, and so on. But they're not succeeding. Why? Because, we are getting elbows. You're going to come and, you become a problem. So, and it's what I've told you. When you bring something which has a group also, they will think you're going to be in a political. You're going to be in this. This is what's on the ground. Because for us now, we've been in this kind of environmental work ever since when we became so active in youth politics and government and the university politics and what. And till when we got equilibrium where we found ourselves that we can do something to our environment. If, as we are waiting for our elders who are ahead of us to confidently tell us now we can sit and discuss, let's be doing something so we can show them. Right now we have so many things we can point at. You don't need to talk a lot. They'll be like, you'll be like, yes, we did this. We have these trees. Last time NFA called us and gave us 3,000 tree seedlings to go and do restoration activities in Chankwanz. But why?
Because you've proven.
Because you've proven. We've shown them what we are doing. So if they are seeing what we are doing, it takes us back to what I told you about recognition. If Kenneth has done something, please recognize him. In fact, if he has been exceeding and excelling, put him in a place where he can be more productive, then he can call more youth, so he can give room for others to come in front, which is not happening. And the reason we are asking, when will it happen? Will it happen when our managers who would tell us and share with us knowledge have gone, or when? So youth are now ready. Youth can now push. If you try to see how many youth go to these to the ECOPs and the what, and these we're having the environmental dialogues and whatever outside and within, youth are so many. And we are requesting that the government should push the youth to go, because they have gotten the knowledge, they have the skills to discuss, to implement, and we are even energetically stronger. We are stronger to do this. So the youth of now, they are modern youth who want development, who want protection, who want also to live in a better environment.
But where does this leave us? When the youth are not empowered, they are not on the decision-making tables, where does this leave us? Because if the youth are not on those decision-making tables, it means there are people, maybe old people, making decisions, probably for the outdated world, making decisions based on what they know, which could maybe have been applicable to the other world, not this current one. Where does this leave us? Should we say that the resolutions that come out of these meetings do not respond to the current problem? They are not solving the current problem, or they can still bring out good resolutions for both of us if the youth are not on those tables?
One, we need to enhance, we need to increase, we need to speed up, we need to modernize empowerment. Stakeholders who are there, who are seeing us, they need to do much, they need to do more in inclusion of the youth and empowerment of the youth. Because as I'm telling you right now, the youth have been empowering themselves. The support that we get from the other side of the government and the concerned body is always minimal. You get, in fact, sometimes they always ask you, like, what have you done? If you try to present anything, what have you done? Even if someone, before they go through it and see the importance of it, how it's going to help the community. So they have to, the stakeholders have to actually put more effort in empowerment and in making youth feel that what they are doing is being recognized, and also to put us on the front seats. Which front seats do we advocate for? When for example, you're having, the worry of a rich man is how I'm going to lose my wealth. That's always the worry of a rich man. Why can't it be the same worry to you when you lose your environment? When you lose your garden, where you're going to get the food? When you lose your environment, where you're going to sleep? When your home has been swept by the floods. So these issues are being limited by the stakeholders. If the stakeholder, for example, could say that every year they are going to take 2 best environment students, every year they are going to take 2 best environment students, and they put them maybe in a certain ministry, let me say water and environment, where they can try to influence that the youth, every year they take these youth as part of the empowerment, part of the support system for the youth to feel like they're not left behind, for the youth to feel like the stakeholders are not leaving them behind. There should be something that should be done. But even giving you a national award, they have recognized you for this. The awards are coming from different NGOs, like WWF could say, maybe Kenneth advocated for protection of this animal, then they recognize you. Can't the government also do this? Can't you wake up one day when they call you on the front of the parliament that, yes, you've been so much, you've actually influenced the planting of almost 1,000 of trees. Now we are giving you this award? Where is this? Who is even actually tracking this? That youth have done this and this. So there is a lot of gaps which are supposed to be filled by our stakeholders, such that they see the importance of the youth in this current world. Because if the youth are not put on the front of this current world, things are not going to move.
But this
in the country where almost 78% of population are youth, and you're leaving them behind, really. So
I was going to ask you, but these stakeholders, most of them are educated people. They attend conferences. They get to receive even the reports showing youth involvement and their impact. They know the power of the youth, if I may say. These people have access to such research. Why don't they see the importance of this issue, including like climate change? Why don't they see it as something important that they should forego their selfish desires and now think about the good of this world and that good future?
Some of these stakeholders are skeptical about the realities and all what happens about climatic change. I think you recall, I will not mention the name, but recall a certain president of the world who said that for them they don't believe in environmental kind of disaster, that those things occur naturally. For them they believe that even if you don't do anything, you can live in the environment, you can eat, and life goes on. But to people who have gotten knowledge and who have studied, you would surely know that if you're waking up and you're cutting the trees all over your home, next time when the wind comes, your home will go. Sometimes you don't need to explain this. So some of these elders are skeptical about what is happening. You get? Yes, you'll get an elder who will tell you, for us we lived, you will also live. But how? Yes, they are there. You sit with someone, you talk with them, but you try to show them during your time. You people used to even have food in that you could even have surplus and even give your relatives. Mr. Kenneth, I'm telling you right now, when you go to a community or a village where someone is still carrying food and they give other neighbors, I think I should shift to that place. But this was a normal, it was a normal norm.
Yeah.
Someone will produce surplus food, they give. But right now someone in an acre where someone used to get like 35 sacks is getting 8, even 5.
Some are on loans, by the way.
Yes.
They sell their crops when they are still in the garden before harvesting.
Things are no longer normal. They are no longer the same. But these people, the stakeholders who are in front of us, they should actually open their eyes more wider to see that if they need us, we are here. Because for us, we need them. We are showing them that we need them. They are saying that we want to get resources. And we go and, we show off and start enjoying life. But for us, some of us, we are getting worried that I haven't even produced. By the time I produce, will this environment be able to support my people, my children, my grandchildren?
Should we say our stakeholders are too greedy?
I would actually put it to that angle, because in a community or in the country where you're hearing a lot of allocation of billions of money to a certain thing, and then you can't even get some little money to fund a certain project, they will tell you that we don't have money. We don't have. There is no any day you will step into some of these offices and they tell you that there's money for this. And if money is there, someone is going to come with a different project and they pass this and they take, and the right people with the proper project will not get anything. So you've heard so many times they are telling there's no money. But projects are there with you which could be better. So I think I would say like there's some greediness as well. And also allocation of resources. You'll get to check our budget and you find that the money that has been allocated to environment itself and water resources and what is always very minimal, and you check a budget of certain ministry, you'll be like, this is too serious. So if it was, that's why we bring in that thing of fairness and equity. We've been studying about fairness and equity. We should also be fair to some of these youth that are coming to us. But most of the bazaars and our stakeholders there, anything you bring on the table before they even check it, they rubbish it.
Without even checking.
We've seen things here, you enter someone's place and then, they don't even check your concept. At least, check it and then you tell me something is good, but let's put it on hold for these factors. And those are the tables we are lacking. We are lacking those tables. Mr. Kenneth, if you come here and, for example, you go to the politician, if you go to them and you want help and you're not showing them how you're going to help them to pass through their vote,
if they are going to campaign using your project.
Yes. Because, for example, we've been in communities where we've been planting trees. But you when you reach there and you start planting trees, then you'll hear the politician in the particular district. How did you come? Stop. What? But when you come and tell them that we've come to do this, then they come, they introduce you, then they feel ownership.
They own the entire project.
Next time on the campaign, they will be like, yes, I brought this team. I called them in my district and they planted this number of trees.
I
That is
wrote
a
to
vote.
them and asked them to come.
If it comes to that table, they call us. They should also call us on other tables. Otherwise, if they don't do this, if they continue seeing us like we are still the old youth, that's misinformation. We are now very ready to serve. We are now very ready to help our communities, to help our parents. Yes. Because now some of these innovations, like now the apps for weather, you know, we even have to teach our parents how to use them. And these are youth who are, you know, innovating them. Yes. So me, I think they have to recognize us more. That's why we are suffering. Our initiatives are dying every year. This time you go, you get there's this initiative, you know, for waste recycling and so on. After 2 years, we ask them, it's no longer there.
Are there some government initiatives to maybe promote climate awareness that have been effective? Like a few you could cite out and say, at least the government has done this in regard to climate change and it has been working. Maybe if they improve here and there, things could change. Or we do not have any outstanding initiative.
Well, the government actually has put structures, and even last time I was checking in the local government procedures and the acts, and I was seeing the village and the sub-county environmental committees. But when I tried to check even just in my sub-county where I come from, I couldn't see the environmental officer for my sub-county. Maybe because of the resources, they are always placed on the districts. So the structures are there. You're seeing what NEMA is doing. The awareness mostly. Because amidst putting the awareness, you find that implementation sometimes lacks. Why were they breaking these houses of people who built in the wetlands? And someone was asking, by the time they built a building and it got done, where were our environmental officers in those places to report these cases? So we recognize that the structures are there. We recognize that the government has put some effort in some government agencies, but still more is needed. Every day the population is increasing. The population of Uganda 20 years ago, right now when you look at it, you will even touch your head. And in the next 10 years, it's going to be very far different. So the effort, the capacity, the fastness, the decision making, which was taking long to be passed, it should be actually speed up. So, for example, now if it comes to NEMA, because that's now government agency in protection and the environmental work, water resources, wetlands, they have done a lot to mobilize, to educate about wetland usage. They are telling people don't plant trees, these kind of trees in the wetlands and so on. But if you take a survey and move around in the nearby wetlands, you'll even wonder. So, are people hearing? They are refusing? They are not hearing? What is happening? Government is doing its effort as well on this side. We recognize that. But putting those efforts, for example, telling people don't go in the wetlands and plant this and plant this kind of trees. When your supervision, your monitoring, and your reporting is not effective, the minister in Kampala will come to know when the trees are ready, when the wetland is no longer in existence, when it dried up. Because we have trees like the eucalyptus, when you plant them in these places, they can take out all the waters in a very minimal time. So, there's effort, there's structures. The government has set the district environmental officers, district forestry officers, all in the fight to ensure that there are natural resources in existence. But these people are there, much as they also have their issues of limited resources and so on. They will tell you, I'm not able to move in the 11 sub-counties of the district. So sometimes they always based on the calls. I had this happening in this place. Then someone has to wait for the facilitation to reach there. You get? So, government has done. But we are now telling the government that since the youth are in their particular villages and their homes, they can also be of youth. They gave them some roles where they can communicate to the district. it can speed up the information, it can speed up the information sharing and also participation. And we also want to feel like we are participating, not only giving you one district officer, environmental officer or forest officer in the district, then the entire district, which is having like, thousands and hundreds of people waiting for that one person. The work becomes so bulky. So bulky.
We saw organizations like the United Nations, we saw them come out with the Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs, and SDG 13 was about climate, and the UN was calling for urgent action to save climate. Do we see the international involvement, the involvement of the international community being meaningful, especially now like here in Africa, and empowering the youth, like the big 6 countries who have been, who are said to be the most contributors of environmental degradation through the industrial emissions of fossil fuels, like Japan, China, the United States, and the European Union. How is their involvement in empowering the youth, even outside here in Africa? Because they contribute largely. Do we see them holding themselves accountable, or they are less concerned?
Well, they do, but still their worry is always on the resources, but they do. Now, for example, like the European Union, throughout our university time, they have been creating spaces where they would call young people to come and debate about how they can influence the communities to adopt the simple technologies and they live in environment sustainably. The debates actually they are still ongoing. They call the different universities, they participate. This is like inter-university debate for environment and climate change. A very good initiative for the for the brainstorming and getting ideas. So European Union has always created those environments, and also we have the Earth Hour by the World Wildlife Organization. The Earth Hour activities always, they tell you like we should always minimize on our light, on our energy. They tell you like you can put off your lights for at least an hour. You're conserving. You get? Now, like when we are here, we take an hour. This is all, we are consuming the energy and so on. But when we off the lights for an hour, then we shall have conserved and protected the environment for at least that hour. So, international community is coming in, international community is supporting, and they have been supporting, but they also need to, we also need to add on our local effort from our stakeholders. For example, if it comes to innovation, they are like Japan, the way you've said Japan,
China.
I've mostly have been in Japan spaces and the European Union. I've supported a lot of innovation. If you have any skill, for example, briquette making, you could teach how to make briquettes. Those apps for technology, sensors of drought and hazardous. They've brought skills for cooking energy, which are healthy. They are supporting those innovations. And if you could share to other youth, they are supporting the GIZ. This GIZ for the Germany guys here has done a lot and is still doing more. But the organizations are so many, but we might be getting much impact from few of them. If we could get more of them on board, it would help us because the population is increasing. When you go in a community where GIZ is only one in the entire village, and then people are many in that particular village, because now you reach in a village and you're going to get like around 20,000 people, 30,000 people. You need to even have more of these initiatives. So the outside community is helping in the way of capacity building, empowerment. It have helped in knowledge sharing, and they put some support on finance. Finance has become a serious problem in most of these activities because activities needs traveling and also needs needs a purchase of equipments. If you're going to have, like, for example, to teach the community about making, for example, those briquettes, you need to buy equipments, of which we may not have as youth. That's why we need more stockholders and those outside bodies. But the outside bodies also get overwhelmed, because now you're coming like 10 groups or 10 NGOs for the youth in the country, and you all attacking the Germany embassy. I mean, they also have activities they are doing, so they will support as part of the government system with another government.
According to their budget.
According to their budget, yes.
So, like countries like the United States, we saw recently the current president, Donald Trump, cutting the aid that was even being put into such organizations. How is it affecting you, and how is it affecting the climate change?
Truth, a lot of things have come on standstill. In fact, if you try to look from last year, many projects have not moved on the pace it was expected, and the issue has been finance. Now, you know, USAID has gone, UKAID, and these things had a lot of impact in the communities. You would actually go even up to deep down there, and you get there, USAID, and they were there. But now someone telling you, like, even their employees are now gone. And this is what I was telling you before in our discussion, that if someone who's on the bigger table has environmental and climate change hawks, they don't feel like this thing exists because of their activities, it becomes very hard to convince them. Very hard. Because now, convincing our President Donald Trump that the flooding is coming because of the change, because of the production, because of the human activities, is going to say those are hoax. So influencing that person that this thing is really true, you need to sit with them and teach them a lot. And now putting away the fund, how would the activities move? And yet we are saying, in the way you talked about SDGs, in SDGs, we talk about the developed countries supporting what? Developing countries. You get, because they are producing more. And now the developed country, which would help the developing country, is saying that they don't believe in that and they have removed the fund. That's like literally someone leaving you to die. Someone is saying, like, you know, you need my help, you're sick, but I don't think you're really sick. And then the AIDS cuts the aid. The aid which has been helping to support to plant millions of trees in different, part of the world, you're like, doesn't make sense. Then I wonder if you're having people near you who are guiding you well, or because these are countries which scientists, with people who have studied, a lot about environment, about the disasters. Most of the literatures we are using here, those guys are the one who have written most of these literatures.
Even based on their reports.
Yes. And then you're like, doesn't. That's how you see that politics has power. The way I told you, a politician will come and say that you people, you didn't tell me about this. No. And you'll have to stop the influence projects.
Are there any attempts to hold such leaders accountable? Because now, like the United States, one would say that they have to contribute towards such initiatives to save the world in terms of climate change, because they have big industries. Their industrial sector has grown. They contribute largely. They are among the biggest contributors of environmental degradation or due to pollution that is from these industries. So are there any initiatives, are there any organizations that can hold such governments accountable to not only feel like they are helping, but feel like they are paying for the wrongs they have done?
Well, there have been a lot of initiatives that has come on board to try to be the mediators between these these countries. For example, when you see about these the conclusive COPs which have been going, the COPs have come in existence because the stakeholders came to know that there are people who are intentionally pulling out from this support. Yet these people are contributors to the carbon emissions, but because they are politically stronger, you can't attack them, you can take their money. So these COPs are coming in to create resources for such differences. But now the challenge is, last time when we were having this kind of information at the GIZ offices, when we getting knowledge, one of our leading negotiators here in the country told us that these people sometimes they negotiate to put money for these activities of environment, but sometimes the money doesn't come. They can come and pledge that according to the meeting, the COP we've connected this year, we want to collect 300 billions to help in environmental conservation. But then the year will go when that money has not come in the circulation. And sometimes they will say that on the 300 billion which they are going to contribute, another country will say that this money has come on this kind particular aid. So there are support systems which are coming on board to help to bring those countries that are highly producing a lot and somehow they want to go away from from what they are doing. So to bring them on board and they ensure that they be part of the conservation. However, the implementation part and the resource mobilization has been one of the hardest things in this kind of countries. Yes, they will come on the table, they sit, they discuss, yes, we are going to get these resources, but getting it to reach you, a youth, Kenneth, who is down there in Kiruhura and in Mbarara, that the resources have reached you, you may wait for some good years. That's the hard part of these initiatives. But we believe that through dialogues, because they have set a lot of dialogues in regards to this kind of discussions and countries, those dialogues you're always seeing every year, that the COP last time it was in Dubai, they have been in Japan, Montreal, where the COPs are coming to bridge the gaps, those gaps of ensuring that these countries are accountable and they're accountable and they're also providing what is required of them, because they are what? Emitting more. They are emitting more. For us who just started now in the industrialization in a few years ago, and you're not even on that, you're not even on the scale where they are, they can't, we can't contribute the same. So the ECOPs, the different the ministries, different government ministries like now water and environment are always putting a lot of documentation to those particular countries to make sure that they come on board. And we believe that with time we shall also get leaders who are accountable, leaders who are passionate, leaders who are also empathetic about the environment and the community, and also who sustainable in mind. Because even if you want it or not, if you cannot think about sustainability today, we are in the doom. We have to think about sustainability. But because of a politician, the way you said before, that is eating and sleeping, and some of them, they think if the earth is not good for me, I can go on the moon. You had them going to the moon for the studies. But how many people are going to go on the moon? Are you going to go on the moon? No. So, no. So we have to wake up. We have to wake up. And we also pledge to those countries to think about it more, to increase. Because they should know that as the population is increasing, the environmental activities are also increasing, the deterioration of the environment is increasing because production is more, population is consuming more, so we are losing a lot of resources, a lot. Every time and every day, our forest cover is reducing. Every single day our forest cover is reducing. But why is it reducing? You just asking me if the government has done more about these activities. Many policies are there about what? Charcoal burning. But you go to Gulu Highway, you will see trucks and trucks of charcoal. But we're having the environmental police, which is supposed to, stop those activities. But they're also not, enough numbers. As you're going to wait on the road,
even some might even be corrupt and they receive something and let the truck
because
pass.
the trucks are passing. How are they passing? And you'll get that they're even themselves in such businesses. So
how can we now connect the local youth to these global movements on climate? Like we have had the SDGs. How can we connect the local youth who may not understand this language of SDGs to now understand the global movements and move in line with them? Probably it could help them even in getting funding if their strategies are in line with the SDGs or the global movements. How can we connect the youth now to these global movements?
This one actually goes back to stakeholders. Because youth who is in the village, when the government starts saying that it want to go and give knowledge or skills to those youth in the village, it will become so expensive. But that's why we are calling in the stakeholders that they should call these youth organizations. Because for us, the way I'm telling you that now we are here in Kampala, but tomorrow you're going to see me when I'm deep down on the village of Apache, when I'm deep down in the village of Chiriandongo. So they should bring these youths who are on the front. They give them different regions. Then we start giving this knowledge because we know the ground. You always hear people that are on the ground. Some people are in the office, but first you're on the ground. The government need to put more effort, more monitoring, more resources on ensuring that even a youth who's in the village deep there, even a mother who deep down in the village and did not go to school is getting information for conservation and environmental protection. I want to thank the government recently. Actually, for the past years, I've been seeing there have been time intervals where Department of Production in sub-counties have been receiving some trees. But these trees, are they being planted? Because if they have been planting these trees, at least we would be seeing bigger greening. So we need to increase on the supervision, and also the government has to ensure that these committees I'm seeing in different sub-counties, like the environmental committees and what, I think they should be filled by some good numbers of youth. Because the structures are there, but they are not functioning. This one I can testify because I've been in the local government. But they are there, very well articulated and very well stated, but they are there for formality. They are not. We are all still basing on the district environmental officer.
Because they lack resources, or just because the people there do not know what is needed?
I think resources, because now if the structures are going to be there, they will tell you that those structures are supposed to be monitored by the politicians. You're going to get a politician who doesn't know much about the trees, about the greening, and doesn't have that much information to spread to the community. So there must be at least some technical person who is active and who is in use, not just putting their structure. And then the government has to also, I think, increase on how to get the grants. Because if it comes to environmental kind of work, it wouldn't be good to get loans. I mean, you're going to do an activity which may not be all that like going to give you direct money. And then you're getting a loan.
You can pay back that loan.
It becomes a burden. Because I'm going to conserve, I'm going to educate the community. The community I'm going to educate is not going to give me money for educating them. You are aware. Then if you're giving me a loan, it becomes a big burden. So I think the government should increase on the grants to give to, it can use the grant money for different activities. That for the NGOs, for the initiatives, than saying that now I'm having my organization, let me go and ask for the loan. When will the money even come back? You get? So, these kind of challenges can be addressed when the stakeholders bring youth on the board, because we outnumber them. The youth should be in the policy making. They should be included in anything that the government is planning in addition to that, because they are educated, they are energetic,
They have all that it
They
takes.
have all that it takes.
Okay, thank you so much. That is Mr. Okumu Phillip, the co-founder of Global Earth Care International Uganda. And we are now winding up these shows. Sir, you can give your last remarks and your last call to someone out there who is watching this show.
Well, to my youth and my people who have followed us from where we've started from, I want to thank you so much for sparing your time and be on Dig TV. I want to thank Mr. Kenneth for calling me to be part of this discussion, and I want to confirm or affirm that I've enjoyed and I've loved. I wish if there is still another chance to be back here and talk about environment, because for us at Global Earth Care International, we are like pastors. If you give us a microphone and tell us to talk about environment, you can take the whole day. But my last message for my people is to anyone who's down there to read Romans 8:19. When the scripture say that the Bible, the scripture was telling us that God awaits all those youths who are ready to take up and do what is expected of them. So, anyone outside there, the youth who are outside there, please, if you want to be listened to more, make clusters, make initiatives, have something that you can point. You're not going to enter everyone's office every day and you ask like, we want some money, we want some money. President Museveni always says that cafe is better than, mine is better than a cafe. So, create something where you also part of. You get? Don't just be there, then you say like, that thing is, is ours. You should also be part of it. So, one by one can make a bundle. Every person where you are, use any available resources you're having to advocate, to conserve, to protect the environment. Whether you're sorting your wastes at home, whether you're planting a tree, whether you're spreading knowledge through your social media handles, whether you are doing cleanups, whether you're telling your people in the market that let's keep this, waste better, and also separate the wastes, because waste has become a problem when it be mixed. KCC has put a lot of dustbins in the town for garbage, for the plastics and for the biodegradable materials, but you get when things are mixed.
The ones that can rot mixed with those that cannot.
So please, we need to be practical, and we also need to be empathetic to people who are collecting these wastes. Let's try to be practical, and with time, we shall surely reach.
Okay.
We shall reach, because we are always aiming for higher, and we shall be there.
Thank you so much. That is Mr. Okumu Phillip for you and I. I believe you have enjoyed this conversation. And if you have really enjoyed, go plant a tree, such that you'll always remember that I planted this tree after watching Mr. Okumu Phillip, who is the co-founder of Global Earth Care International Uganda. My name is Kenneth Rwemilembe. We are always here to bring to you the best, and if God allows, we shall bring him back and we delve deeper into this kind of discussion. We believe that we need to save our Mother Nature. Thank you so much for being part of us. Have a good day.
The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.